Good morning, everyone. Let me introduce you my PhD topic, which is 3D printing in dentistry. I'm Németh from Department of Prosthodontics, and my vision is a high-quality digital prosthodontic treatment using 3D printing technology as a daily routine. So I would like to bring 3D printing to the clinical practice. My specific goals are investigate this new technology through dental models and fixed dental restorations. So my first project is a clear guidance to select the most accurate technologies for 3D printing dental models. The biggest breakthrough in dentistry was the advent of CAD/CAM technology because it provides time-saving manufacturing and precise restorations. It comprises additive manufacturing, as known as 3D printing or rapid prototyping. During this process, the three-dimensional object is made up from layer by layer from a virtual model. The importance of this topic is shown by the increase in the number of publications. There are several types of 3D printers with different technologies, but the problem is that the results about the accuracy of this technology is different as well. There are several cases where the accuracy of the dental device is crucial. For example, if the implant location in a 3D printed dental model is inaccurate, the prosthesis made on it will be not precisely fitting and it will be unusable. So we need more evidence about the dimensional accuracy of this technology, and our aim is to evaluate the accuracy of these 3D printed dental models. We would like to compare these models to the initial digital reference model, and the outcome is the trueness and precision. And our hypothesis is that the accuracy of these models is within the clinically accepted thresholds, regardless printer type. 120 microns for prosthodontic applications and 250 microns for orthodontic applications. I made my systematic search on these databases with this search key, and after duplicate removal, I had more than 16,000 articles, and after the selection, I ended up with 11 eligible articles. Because of the heterogeneity of the included studies, a subgroup analysis was needed, and we made that according to these factors which have the greatest effect on the printing accuracy. The first one is layer thickness, because as we can see, it largely affects the surface quality. The second one is the model design. According to a study, these horseshoe-shaped models are significantly less accurate than those which have this connecting part at the molar parts. The third one is the measuring level, because we can measure the accuracy on the full arch or on a smaller segments. We call them arch level or tooth level measurements. The software making the superimposition between the reference and the 3D printed models can express the discrepancy with different measuring values, with root mean square value or with absolute mean deviation. Because the two different calculation methods, we needed to separate these articles as well. So at the end, I had 7 subgroups according to these main factors. Now let me show you some of my subgroup results. According to the extracted data, we were able to make a network meta-analysis where we can compare the treatments to the control group and the different interventions to each other as well. And we can combine both direct and indirect evidence across a network of studies. So in this network plot, we can see the different technologies in each subgroups. And in this forest plot, we can see actually the first row of the leak heat plot, which is not on the slide. In this forest plot, on the y-axis, we can see the different technologies, and the x-axis shows the mean difference to the control. In this subgroup, we can see that all the investigated technologies are within the orthodontic clinical limit, but only PolyJet, DLP, and SLA were clinically acceptable for prosthodontic purposes. The difference is statistically significant, but they are not clinically relevant. In this subgroup, the measuring level is tooth level, and as seen on these figures, the trueness values are better than in the previous subgroups, where the measuring level was arch level. Our data suggests that tooth level measurements lead to better trueness values than arch level measurements. The reason is that during smaller section accuracy analysis, a section-based alignment method significantly improves the alignment accuracy and decreases the measurement errors, so the distortion is much moderate. So as a summary, the strength of this study is that this is the first meta-analysis in this topic, and because of the network method, we can combine both direct and indirect evidence, so the evidence of practical applicability is much higher. But there are some limitations, like a lack of data about printing details and parameters, and we could only analyze horseshoe-shaped models. As a conclusion, we can say that SLR, DLP, and PolyJet are the most accurate technologies for precise full arch model production. And for implication for practice, our data suggests that we can use these technologies for prosthodontic purposes. And from the research perspective, a standardized accuracy assessment protocol for 3D printing is necessary to facilitate comparison, and future studies should also involve a standardized reporting protocols about detailed printing parameters like material use, post-processing procedures, and so on. I got back my manuscript from internal review, and my plan is to submit it in this week to Journal of Dentistry, which is a D1 journal. My second project is a comparative study of additive and subtractive manufacturing of fixed dental restorations. CAD/CAM systems are divided into subtractive and additive manufacturing, and we use milling for over 30 years now, but 3D printing is a much younger technology. And we accept the same precise results from both of these technologies. However, there are many differences between them. The first main difference is the material wastage, because during milling, we remove the material from the workpiece, and the remaining material cannot be reused. However, during 3D printing, the wastage is almost zero. Complex parts with intricate shapes and hollow cavities can easily be produced with 3D printing, but milling has limited capabilities because of the size of the milling burr and the milling angles. So as we can see, 3D printing has a lot of benefits, but we need more evidence about the accuracy of this technology, and our aim is to evaluate the accuracy of fixed dental restorations made by 3D printing. So we would like to compare 3D printed and milled fixed restoration, and our primary outcome is marginal and internal fit. And we think that fixed restorations using additive manufacturing are significantly more accurate than those made by subtractive manufacturing. With the help of these results, maybe we can establish 3D printing as a more accurate, cost-effective and time-efficient manufacturing method of the digital workflow. I made my systematic search on these databases, and I had 89 eligible articles. I'm at the stage data extraction, and I would like to finish this second project until October. Let me finish my presentation with this quote. Just remember, you can climb the ladder of success with your hands in your pockets. Thank you.
3D printing is a very hot topic nowadays, and since I don't have any other good questions, do you have any experience? So how can you use 3D printing technologies at your clinic?
Yes, thank you for your question. My experience that we would like to use this technology in the daily practice, but there are only few people, few experts, they can use it appropriately. So I would like to know more about this technology, possibilities and limitations, and use it correctly in the daily practice.
Actually, this is exactly the same thing I just have told to Dean Gerber, Mr. Dean Gerber, because we also have a 3D printer in Page, and we have printed the first permanent crowns, and he asked me which techniques, and I said, I have no clue. So I'm not your expert, it seems. Okay, you got some seconds to figure out your questions.
Sorry, one question would be that you mentioned, and I might have missed the explanation, the horseshoe model opposite to the connected horseshoe model is less accurate when you are comparing. Why is that? It's the same thing except the connection part, right?
Yes, probably the reason is that, that if the printing is finished, we remove the object from the building platform, and because the molar parts are not connecting, by the removing we can hurt this model and the distortion can happen. So the reason is that it's more stable with this connection part at the ends of the model.
Actually, my question is connected to this as well. So once upon a time, we figured it out if you use intraoral scanners, even nowadays, as big is the prepared field that non-accurate is the scan. So how about the 3D printing model? So if you prepare so many teeth and you are investigating a bigger field, is the accuracy changed or just like?
Sorry, I'm not sure I understand your question.
So if you scan with an intraoral scanner, if you want to make a huge, for example, a round bridge, the accuracy is definitely not the same if you make only a small bridge work or a single crown.
Yes, maybe this can happen, but in intraoral scanners it's a bigger problem, but during 3D printing, the printing accuracy morely depends on layer thickness and post-processing parameters. So as long as the intraoral scanner is building the scan picture by picture, 3D printing, it's not a problem.
But I'm thinking about the database you are working with. It's about the same, isn't it?
Yes.
So I'm not thinking about the clinical part, I'm thinking about the digital part. So the database you are working with is the same?
Yes, actually it is. In this study, a problem can be that the reference scanners, they scanning the 3D printed models to an STL file, has some, so the accuracy of these reference scanners, we don't know them exactly, so it can affect the true results, true accuracy. Yeah.
Am I right that we use different material for them?
Different material for
the
milling and 3D printing?
Yes.
Yes. It's
sure. And do their durability is similar? Or is there differences between them? The durability, because they will be used for chewing, am I right?
Thank you for a question. There are materials, they can be printed and milled as well, but 3D printing has a smaller material bibliothèque yet, but they are developing new materials. So today we can print now ceramics or zirconia, and this is really good. So we would like to compare these to the old good milling and the materials.
Thank you.
Thank you.